Underactive thyroid. According to the nutritional symptoms you noted in your answers to our nutritional quiz, you may have symptoms of an underactive thyroid. To refresh your memory, here's the background information on underactive thyroid problems. And following that are our recommendations to help you bring your underactive thyroid into balance. The thyroid gland consists of two lobes at the base of the front of your neck. It secretes hormones that control your metabolism, that is, all the processes that result in your growth, energy production, and waste elimination. Note that the thyroid gland controls both physical and mental growth. In fact, it's involved in almost every body function, and it is important to correct any imbalance. Opinion is divided as to whether to treat people who have a mild thyroid imbalance with replacement hormones. Even if you do require replacement hormones, there are still a number of things you can do to help restore thyroid function and alleviate some of the symptoms. A thyroid gland that is underactive results in hypothyroidism, a hormonal imbalance which may have dozens of symptoms such as cold hands and feet, weight gain, especially of the upper body, mental sluggishness, lethargy, depression, constipation, painful menstruation, muscle weakness, and unusual difficulty when trying to work under pressure. The thyroid gland tends to weaken with age. However, a nutritionally sound diet will help keep your thyroid healthy. Here are our underactive thyroid recommendations. Since your quiz answers indicate a possible thyroid imbalance, you have a very common hormonal imbalance, especially among 40-plus women, and a common cause of unexplained weight gain. Be sure to try the self-test described below. It's a very good indicator of thyroid function and sometimes detects a mild imbalance which might not show up on the blood test. While many symptoms of hypothyroidism are vague and tend to be similar to other imbalances, for example, underactive thyroid symptoms resemble many symptoms of anemia, low body temperature almost always indicates sluggish thyroid function. A mild imbalance may correct itself with diet changes and supplements, but if your underarm temperature is consistently low, you should tell your doctor. While your thyroid needs iodine to produce hormones, it's best to get it from food sources. Too much iodine can actually suppress thyroid function. If you're taking a prescription synthetic thyroid hormone, you should ask your doctor about the advisability of eating foods very high in iodine. You have many of the symptoms of an underactive thyroid, but a number of the symptoms you have checked could also relate to other imbalances. A blood test from your doctor will more accurately measure your thyroid's health. However, mild forms of hypothyroidism, the most common, can go undetected by a blood test, and yet even mild hypothyroidism should be treated. So here's the underarm temperature test. It's a simple method for testing thyroid function. What you do is you place an old-fashioned analog thermometer, not a digital one, an old-fashioned one, under your arm for 10 minutes before getting out of bed in the morning. Shake down the thermometer the night before and leave it beside your bed so that you will not move around before taking your temperature. Normal body temperature ranges for this test. The range for this test is between 97.8 and 98.2 degrees Fahrenheit. A reading below 97.8 may indicate an underactive thyroid. A reading above 98.2 may indicate an overactive thyroid. Do the test 4 or 5 times in a row for accuracy. If you're menstruating, do not take your temperature on the first day of your period. The underarm temperature test can often detect a mild subclinical imbalance, which might not show up on a blood test. And many experts believe that if people with slightly low thyroid hormone made an effort to correct any nutritional imbalances, as well as supplementing with other important nutrients, they might avoid being on a synthetic hormone, or at least until much later in life. As well as correcting any nutrient deficiencies and imbalances, it would be wise to take a flax oil capsule 3 times a day with meals. Sea vegetables such as arami, bladderwrack, dulse, hijiki, kelp, kombu, nori, sea palm, and wakame are one of the best sources of the minerals, including iodine and B vitamins, essential for a healthy thyroid. Since they are food source supplements, their nutrients are more easily assimilated than those from a pill. They can be chopped in the food processor or blender and sprinkled over food or added to soup after it's cooked. Some foods that are particularly good for thyroid and adrenal health are seafood, especially cold water fish, sea vegetables listed, such as we mentioned, legumes, such as black beans and lentils, yams, raw sesame and pumpkin seeds, brown rice, fresh figs, and raisins. Foods such as cabbage, turnip, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, cassava root, soybeans, peanuts, and millet contain a substance called goitrogens, which blocks the absorption of iodine in the body and, when eaten raw, can suppress thyroid function. Since cooking deactivates the goitrogens, it's best to eat those foods lightly steamed. Thyroid activity may also be slowed down by too much caffeine, too much alcohol, too much sugar, or drugs. Many over-the-counter diet pills can cause thyroid imbalance too, if taken for too long a time. A sluggish thyroid is a common and often overlooked cause of weight gain, especially among women. There are a number of things you can do to help boost a sluggish metabolism due to poor thyroid function. When you're exposed to varying temperatures, your thyroid is exercised because it has to work to maintain your body's metabolic rate. Some doctors believe that the typical modern temperature, that's about 72 degrees, the environment we live in deprives the thyroid of exercise and contributes to the causes of a sluggish thyroid. Consider stimulating your thyroid by getting out to enjoy the winter weather and sleep with your window open year-round, even when it's cold outside, within reason. Early morning exercise can boost circulation and metabolism and promote deep sleep. And early morning sunlight is also very beneficial. A daily walk is ideal. Even your liver depends on a steady supply of oxygen to function well. Glandular imbalances such as thyroid imbalance are often accompanied by blood sugar problems, which make weight loss difficult. Slow-burning complex carbohydrates such as vegetables, whole grains, brown rice, and legumes, which are also high in fiber, will help to stabilize blood sugar levels. Try to eat 5 to 6 servings of a half cup each of fresh vegetables daily, especially broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, winter squash, and leafy greens like kale, collards, beet greens, and salad greens. You can eat them steamed, raw, stir-fried, and in soups, casseroles, pastas, etc. Eat brown rice often, as well as some whole grain pastas, breads, cereals, and legumes. Small portions of whole grains if you're trying to lose weight. These foods are, in a sense, fat-burning foods since they raise metabolism by burning 25% of their calories before storing calories. Unlike fats and sugars, which burn only about 2% of their calories before storing them as fat. Following a hypoglycemia diet, which is designed to stabilize blood sugar levels, is one of the best ways to help rebalance thyroid and adrenal glands. Blood sugar swings and food cravings are also likely your undoing when trying to follow a healthy diet and lose weight, so you might want to do some more reading about blood sugar disturbances and try following a diet for hypoglycemia for 2 to 3 months. If it's the right diet for you, you'll feel better and begin to lose weight naturally. In a few months, if you follow the diet carefully, your blood sugar levels will have stabilized and you can vary the diet more while still sticking to the basic guidelines. This is a very healthy diet which includes plenty of nutrient-dense foods. It's not a weight loss diet, but a diet to help get your body back in balance. And as this happens, you will lose weight and have more energy. Look for a book in your health food store, as they are likely to carry one that includes menus with lots of vegetables. If you eat fruit, eat it first thing in the morning and wait 20 to 30 minutes before eating the rest of your breakfast. If you eat fruit raw during the day, eat it only between meals or on an empty stomach, never with or right after a meal, as it interferes with digestion. Don't skip meals, especially breakfast, as it slows down metabolism. Try to take in most of your calories earlier in the day and keep your evening meal light. And it's best not to eat after about 8 in the evening. There are some very effective, safe herbal compounds which can help rebalance glands, boost metabolism, and speed up weight loss. But I think they should be prescribed by a naturopath or other holistic doctor. And that's the end of our underactive thyroid recommendations.